you for being with us today. You know, there's some things in life that's got to be true because you just can't make it up. This is a picture of Christopher. It's a very nice picture in his state prison outfit. You see, he did his full sentence, which with gain time comes up to about almost 8 years, and was released. Apparently he behaved, or at least he was not caught, for 3 years. So let's fast forward to this morning. That's right. He crashes his vehicle that's registered to him, and as he runs off of the road into the swampy area in his vehicle, Christopher says to himself, "Self, I don't think I want to hang around for this," so he runs. I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish because the vehicle was registered to Christopher Hendricks. Well, now Christopher is on foot. He's fleeing on foot from this hit and run crash he's involved in that the Highway Patrol is working, and he runs up to the Marathon gas station on 557, which is just south of the interstate. And he's tried to steal this lady's vehicle. Well, she didn't think much of that. In fact, she was in the process of gassing her vehicle when he tried to get in, so she appropriately took the gas nozzle and sprayed him with gasoline. Christopher rethought that. He decided that that was not the vehicle that he wanted, so he fled. Well, he ran immediately to a burgundy-colored van that was there, and of course the owner was not in the van, but he was up at the store. The owner said to himself, "Self, I believe Christopher Hendricks is trying to steal my van." So the man, who has a concealed weapons permit, promptly pulled out his firearm and extracted Christopher from his vehicle at gunpoint. He would have been totally justified if he'd have shot Christopher, but he didn't want to do that, and Christopher complied and got out of the vehicle. So Christopher decides that at this point in his excitement that he should probably flee from this particular location, because these folks from Polk County, Florida, were not in the mood to have their car stolen or jacked from them this morning. And he jumps onto the westbound traffic of the interstate. Well, there's a fellow driving a box truck. That fellow says to himself, "Self, I really don't want to run over Christopher Hendricks," so he slams on brakes. He is rewarded with his efforts by being rear-ended by a semi. So now we have another crash. Well, Christopher sees that he's created another kerfuffle. So he flees and he runs to the other side of the westbound traffic, where a very nice person driving a green pickup truck has stopped to help. So he tries to get in that vehicle. Well, that fella doesn't think too much about that as well, and he's got his doors locked so he can't get in there. Is Christopher deterred? No, he's not deterred. So he goes to the fourth vehicle. That is another Good Samaritan who stopped on the interstate to try to help in a red Chevy Equinox. He tried to get in that vehicle. That victim grabbed his keys out of his vehicle and he ran. Well, all during this time, people are dialing 911 and our deputies are frantically trying to run in emergency mode to get there. But if you're familiar with this particular area, it's kind of out in the countryside on the interstate. But we arrive in force and we take Christopher Hendricks into custody. And we put Christopher Hendricks in handcuffs in the back of our car. He is not pleased. Christopher Hendricks tries to escape. He kicks the back windows out of the patrol car in an effort to escape. Not only was he going to escape, he was going to steal our handcuffs too. We didn't appreciate that very much. So finally, we've got Christopher Hendricks wrestled under control and locked up in the county jail. It's our goal to send him back to state prison. But first and foremost, I want to thank the two people at the Marathon Station, what I call wonderful people from Polk County, who said, Christopher, you're not going to steal my truck. You already tore your own truck up. And then when he ran down into the interstate, people trying to help, he tried to steal their car, and they go, you're not stealing our vehicle. And they resisted. I have absolutely no idea what this guy was thinking. But it was evident this morning he might have had 5 brain cells. 3 of them weren't working. Our goal is to send him back to state prison for an extended period of time because it's painfully evident to us that the community's not safe when he's at large. Now, I know probably his parents will think this is a low-level, nonviolent misdemeanor and he really didn't mean it, and he's sorry, and he's very sorry, and he didn't mean it, and he won't do it again until he does it again. But that's not the way the rest of us think in the system. The rest of us understand him for what he is. He's a dangerous man. Are there any questions?
Sir, do you see that the people involved, specifically the victims, were lucky this morning? And you mentioned he could have been shot, so perhaps you could argue he's lucky too, right?
Sure, it was a lucky day for him. He was not injured in the car crash. She didn't set him on fire when she sprayed him with gas. The man who owned the other car, while he was committing forcible felonies, had every right to shoot him and didn't. He only used enough force to get him out of his vehicle and on his way. So he was as fortunate as our victims were. Yes, our victims were fortunate. But you know what is really cool about Polk County? We fight back. We carry concealed firearms. And heck, the lady who didn't have a concealed firearm had a gas hose, which worked just remarkably well. I think he's thinking, I don't want to go back to prison. But we're thinking you should.
So that Sheriff, you're not allowed to use deadly force for a property crime. Why do you say he would have been justified in killing her?
Well, but first off, he tried a carjacking with a lady. And then he was doing a burglary of a vehicle, and he was in the string of a group of felonies at the time.
That sounds pretty shaky.
I guarantee you, when you start trying to carjack somebody's car at a gas station, you're subject to get shot, and shot a lot.
Did he have a weapon?
She didn't have to have a weapon, brother. You can carjack with just pure violence and force. He was trying to carjack the First Lady. She was gassing up. It's all the same thing. It's all the same event.
You don't think that's a dangerous message you're putting out to Polk County citizens?
That is the absolute correct message I'm putting out to Polk County citizens. You try to break into somebody's car and steal it while they're there with it, that's called armed carjacking.
He wasn't armed.
The other guy was armed. You don't look at individual events. You look at the string of violent felonies he was committing. And that's a violent felony, to try to take somebody's car from them with force, with or without a weapon. And you're sending the wrong message. The message is you don't have to have a firearm. You don't have to have a knife to be a dangerous individual. And if you come to this county, and if you use extreme violence to try to carjack somebody from their car, if you get shot, that's on you.
I think some attorneys would disagree with you, but you're the sheriff, so.
I can tell you right now, you come to this county and you do this string of violent stuff, you're blessed. You're blessed because that man up at that store had the right to protect himself. He had the right to protect his property. He had the right to protect that lady. That lady had the right to protect herself and her property. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, there you have it, my friends. More evidence that Florida shall lead us out of the wilderness. Y'all have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you real soon. Bye for now.